Hey guys, welcome to Aquarius season. We had the sun move into Aquarius yesterday, and today we have our new moon in Aquarius happening at 2 degrees of Aquarius, Saturday, January 21st, 2023. Tomorrow, Sunday, January 22nd, we have Uranus, the planet that rules the sign of Aquarius, stationing direct in the sky after a very lengthy retrograde process, putting a huge emphasis on the planet Uranus, on the sign of Aquarius, and these Uranian Aquarian frequencies that are so strong right now as we are entering the time of year and the season that is ruled by this energy anyways. So there is an amplification of Aquarius season that is going on this year, you guys. It's going to be a very transformative cycle. We are going to be bringing to the end a lot of the false pretenses that we've been operating under in regards to our own true nature. As a result of that, a lot of things in our outer reality, especially in the context of relationships, partnerships, social dynamics, financial dynamics, are likely to abruptly change in one way or another as well. This is a cycle that is putting a major emphasis on relationship dynamics of all kinds and a need to be more practical and more mature and sort of evolve the way that we are dealing with finances and matters of the heart generally, in alignment with this new version of ourselves that is sort of being birthed simultaneously throughout the course of this cycle as a result of these false pretenses that are falling away during this period of time. I feel like this is a very significant new moon cycle, specifically because Uranus is going to be stationing direct tomorrow in correspondence with the new moon itself. We've got 3 days in a row. There's also an emphasis coming through by the numerology associated with this chart, planetary placements, dates, and also in terms of this 3-day period where there's this emphasis on the Uranian energy almost in a progressive way, building stronger and stronger and stronger. The 20th, which is a two, right? We have the sun entering the sign of Aquarius. The 21st, the 1 and the 2 and the 1, also the 3. We have our new moon in Aquarius, both the sun and the moon lining up at 2 degrees of Aquarius, which is the energy that we are going to be talking about today. On the 22nd, tomorrow, day 3, Uranus ruling this energy, stations direct, putting an even greater emphasis on these Aquarian Uranian themes. So there's 3 days in a row of this buildup of intensity in terms of the Uranian vibe, in the context also of a new moon cycle that's going to be unfolding over the course of the next 4 weeks. I don't know why I said 3 weeks. This is likely to be a very electrifying and illuminating new moon cycle. We can definitely say that. So let's now look more specifically at the chart of our new moon, how this is coming together, all of the themes that are present, the aspects as they're playing out, and what is likely to be unfolding for us over this next couple weeks as this energy starts to play out. So let's start with the numerology. Let's talk, the basics about this new moon. Of course, you guys, this is a new moon cycle. This is the seed planting time. This is when we seed our intentions and, make our wishes, set our goals for what's going to unfold, what we want to grow and develop throughout this period of time. Goals are very significant right now. They have been since we started this 2023 year. There's a major emphasis on our goals, on working towards our goals, on manifesting our goals in alignment with a more authentic purpose that is coming throughout the course of this entire 2023 year generally as well. Aquarius cycle. Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn. Aquarius is a sign that has 2 rulers. Saturn is the original ancient ruler of the sign of Aquarius. Saturn is currently in the sign of Aquarius, and of course Uranus, the modern ruler of the sign of Aquarius. So on one hand, Aquarius is very, loyal and committed and dedicated. On the other hand, Uranus is the planet of disruptions and of the future and of uniqueness and tapping our true potential of the individual as well. And so there is a true commitment, okay, to uniqueness and to going in our own direction and being true to ourselves when we're talking about the sign of Aquarius. This energy is actually in a process right now of becoming much more empowered as well as we go throughout the course of 2023, and Pluto is going to be coming into the sign of Aquarius, and that is really going to be empowering this commitment and dedication to the cultivation of our unique potential and really helping us to step into our own personal authentic identity as well is going to be another facet or feature of this 2023 year as it's unfolding. But in terms of how this energy is coming together today, let's talk specifically Saturday, January 21st, 2023, 3:53 p.m. Eastern Time is when the exact alignment of the sun and the moon come together, happening at 1 degree 32 minutes of the sign of Aquarius. That is where this alignment will be happening. And I am going to be reading 2 degrees of Aquarius in terms of the Sabian symbol placement, because when we look at the symbolism associated with the degrees, we round up a degree because energy moves in waves, and we look at the energy that is incoming instead of the energy as it is like dissipating and dissolving out. So it's very interesting to me, like I said, the way that this numerology is playing out today as well in terms of the degree placements. It's our date today is 1/2/1/2/3. We have this activation, the new moon itself happening at 1 degree and 32 minutes. We have 3 sets of 2s going on. We've got the sun at, in terms of the Sabian symbol placement, to the sun and the moon at 2 degrees of Aquarius, and we also have the earth and the black moon at 2 degrees of the sign of Leo. And we have this progression of 3-day energy, the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd as well, in terms of this Uranus energy that's coming in, the sun entering Aquarius, followed by the new moon in Aquarius, followed by Uranus stationing direct. So I do feel like there is something to do with a progression of events, things happening according to a specific sequence of events as well. I've been talking about this in the past couple reports I've done. I've been sort of feeling like things are like really unfolding according to like divine timing right now. Really like divine alignments and stuff like that, I feel like are very much at play. And I feel like this is sort of a period of time that we may have been like unknowingly waiting for a long period of time. And a lot of the things maybe that have been stalled or that have not been moving forward or that we thought were not going to move forward are likely to just spontaneously gain some serious momentum at this point in time. And I feel like this could also have to do with like deals or financial arrangements, financial agreements, resources. One thing that we will talk more about as we get through this report, Venus is in a mutual reception with Uranus right now, which is very significant in the context of all this Uranus energy in our Aquarius cycle. But that first ruler of Aquarius, Saturn, is also in almost an exact conjunction to Venus in the sign of Aquarius in the mutual reception with Uranus for our new moon today. So, and like I said, we will talk about this as we get through this report, but there is a potential for some limitations also on the more Taurus themed type stuff, partnerships, work stuff, projects, resources, financial things. And like I said, we will get into that in a minute, but that is something that I wanted to sort of preface this information with as well. But honestly, there seems to be, and I was talking about this in a report that I did the other day as well, because it was coming through then, but it's definitely coming through now. And when I did that report, I didn't realize where exactly the degree, the Sabian symbol associated with where this new moon was happening today. But it really appears as though there is some type of storm brewing, you guys, in one way or another. And we are at a transition point. There's a definite transformation going on in the collective in terms of coming clean about stuff and like lies and deception, or even where we've been working against ourselves in one way or another, self-sabotage as well, being really exposed, rectified, and things being put on a course or trajectory that is actually moving them forward in a much more positive and productive way, which is also what Uranus does. And so it's just very strong Uranian energy that we are in right now. The rebirth of authentic potential, I do feel like, is coming with this cycle, and looking towards or working towards the future, seeing some new potentials and some new possibilities. But that being said, the position of where this new moon is occurring in terms of the Sabian symbol placement, 2 degrees of the sign of Aquarius, sun and the moon coming together to Aquarius, that Sabian symbol, you guys, is an unexpected thunderstorm. Like, I don't know that there's a more Uranian degree in all of the Sabian symbols than this, because we've got the unexpected going on. We've got the disruptive force of like a storm type of energy going on. And it's literally talking about a thunderstorm, which is, of course, characterized by these big strikes and flashes of lightning that are followed by the thunder. And Uranus is the lord of lightning, the lord of electricity. So the placement, okay, of the new moon itself today is specifically referencing the tendencies and the qualities of the force that Uranus brings to our experience. An unexpected thunderstorm. And then not only is it that, but the position of Uranus as well. Remember, Uranus is the major factor right now ruling this energy, and the most prominent planet in the sky right now anyways, even if it wasn't Aquarius season, because Uranus is about to station to go direct on the 22nd. Whenever a planet stations in the sky, it magnifies its energy and its presence, and when it's Uranus, it's this high-speed electrified frequency that is trying to rearrange things in alignment with authentic growth and potential. Uranus, the position of Uranus, when he stations and for our new moon today, is 15 degrees of Taurus. That Sabian symbol is a man with a rakish silk hat, muffled against the cold, braves a storm. So there's an unexpected thunderstorm that could perhaps be brewing. And simultaneously, though, we are prepared, okay? And the hat, like, we are keeping our wits about us. We are not going to allow ourselves to be carried away by whatever might be, whatever storm we may have to weather, and we are prepared to brace against it. It's not going to get the best of us. We're going to persevere through this storm, you guys. These changes or these disruptions or this illumination, lightning also illuminates the sky and it electrifies things. It's like a shock or a spark. It also brings things back to life. Like, this could very much be pertaining to things that went on in 2022 in this 222 year that are sort of being brought back to our attention or rearranged or righted now or some type of way, or because of this 321, 123, 213, all of these 123 progression numbers that are all over the chart for today as well. And in the context of this building Uranus energy, it could be things from the past, like 1, 2, or 3 years also that are coming up. Uranus is still retrograde. This is still working to rectify and to rework things from the past so that when we get the green light, which is coming with Uranus going direct, everything is in place and we are ready to take off and launch forward in this new direction towards these goals that 2023 is trying to align us with. We also have Mars right now where he has been. Mars still has not technically moved forward, but you guys know that degree 9 Gemini, a medieval archer, stands with the ease of one wholly sure of himself, bow in hand, his quiver filled with arrows. I love reading this symbol because I love the feeling that it gives when you embody that vibration or embody that energy of just feeling so wholly sure of yourself, and the ease associated with that in the context of knowing your job, knowing your mission, knowing what you're doing, believing in your skills, believing in your abilities, and just waiting for the time to be right to let that arrow fly. And I feel that's what we've been doing, that's what we are doing, gaining this new sense of confidence and self-assuredness that is preparing us to have a much quicker, more streamlined and effective trajectory when we do release from this place and allow ourselves to, or when universe shoots us forward. So I also feel this stuff could be related, like I was saying, to things from the past that are being ended, resolved, or allowed to move forward in a better way at this point in time. This could also be sort of this flood or this deluge, talking about this storm energy, this thunderstorm of ideas or of revelations or like flashes of insight as well that could also be related to this past 2022 year or this past couple of years. But Uranus brings the shocks, you guys, the surprises. Expect the unexpected, an unexpected thunderstorm, electricity, lightning. The man with the rakish silk hat, muffled against the cold, braves the storm. We're not running from it. We're facing it head on. We're persevering. We're enduring. We're going to make it through. But, it's like through this process, we are also really Venus and Saturn in the conjunction, and we'll get there in a little while, but we are figuring out what really matters, and we are becoming committed to the authentic truth of our heart and like what we are deciding and discovering that we do really want at this point in time. But we should prepare you guys to be like illuminated or to have something electrified or just shown to us in one way or another that may be a bit shocking or a bit unexpected or sort of catch us off guard. This is a very, though, multifaceted energy coming through with this moon. There's a lot of different aspects that are sort of happening, and they're kind of polarized in their nature. Mars still in the sign of Gemini. This is talking about a polarized expression of energy as we have Mars transiting the sign of Gemini, so not really super surprised. But let's talk about the aspects for a minute. We have the new moon itself. It is happening, like I said, 2 degrees of Aquarius. Jupiter right now is at 5 degrees of Aries, so we have a 3-degree orb sextile going on with Jupiter and Aries. This is very positive for our new moon energy, and this really actually tells us that new beginnings, Jupiter in the sign of Aries, and the risks that we take as well to do something new or to do something independently or to most like significantly like follow or pursue a real authentic passion, this is going to be supported. Our forward movement is supported. The confidence and the faith and the trust and belief in ourselves is going to be there in terms of whatever we're starting now and these goals that we are discovering and working towards. Another aspect that we have coming through with this moon is, and this is pretty big, you guys, like this is a significant dynamic that I feel like is going to be sort of like overlooked by a lot of astrologers in the context of this full moon, but I feel like it's going to sort of have kind of a powerful effect in accomplishing the purpose actually of what this new moon itself is trying to bring to us. And that is the new moon at 2 degrees of Aquarius is literally, you guys, in exact opposition to the black moon. Like they're literally only like 3 degree minutes off. I believe the black moon is at 1 degree and 29 minutes of the sign of Leo. And as I said, the new moon itself is at 1 degree and 32 minutes of the sign of Aquarius. So we're literally talking like 33 there's that number 3 again, 3 degrees, January 20th, January 21st, January 22nd, the progression of the Uranus energy coming in, 3 degrees off of this exact opposition to the black moon in the sign of Leo, which is this new black moon energy that we're dealing with. We just got done with a 9-month transit of the black moon going through the sign of Cancer. Now we are in black moon and Leo energy, which has a lot to do with showing us our fears in relation to not being seen for our ability to shine and like our ability to be special, and like where do we sacrifice our own true authenticity and uniqueness in order to receive external validation or external love, and how does that interfere with our ability to truly find true joy in our lives through the expression and the acceptance of and the appreciation of our own unique creative self-expression. It's like, where do we chase glory in a way that actually separates us from that which would bring true glory to us out of a fear of our true abilities not being recognized? When we boil down the black moon and Leo energy. And we're going to be talking a lot about black moon and Leo over the course of this next 9 months, but we are in it. And to have this line up like this to this like exact extreme, there are going to be themes coming up over the course of this cycle in this next couple days of where we feel we are not being recognized for being special and the way that we're feeling triggered over that, okay? And we're going to talk more about this in a few minutes, but I do want to move on first and talk a little bit more about this Venus-Saturn conjunction in the sign of Aquarius, which is another dynamic of how this energy is playing out today, you know? So like, it's like on one hand, we have this expansive Jupiter in the sextile, supporting our growth, supporting our development, supporting our forward movement, supporting the risks that we take, helping us to build our confidence and to trust ourselves. Then we have this black moon energy that may have us, you know, really caught in between external validation and internal validation. But then we have the Venus and Saturn situation going on. Now, Venus is playing a significant role in this new moon chart, and that is because she is in aspect, or she is exchanging energy with both of the rulers of the sign of Aquarius for our Aquarius cycle while being in the sign of Aquarius. She is, as we've been talking about, in a mutual reception right now with Uranus. Uranus is in the sign of Taurus, ruled by Venus. Venus in the sign of Aquarius, ruled by Uranus, one of the rulers. So there's a blending and an enmeshment sort of Venetian Taurus, the Taurus side of the Venus energy, and the Uranus side of the Aquarius energy. And now, not only that, she's also in a 1 degree off conjunction to Saturn at the moment of our new moon. So we've got Venus in a conjunction to Saturn and Venus in a mutual reception to Uranus, both the rulers of the Aquarius cycle. Now, this is telling us there is going to be this emphasis on relationship themes, social situations, resources, partnerships, values. It could be like food, beauty, but it is going to likely be more along, like I said, the Taurian Venus energy. So this is like our projects and our creative potential and what we are working towards. Uranus in the sign of Taurus is trying to awaken us, the great awakener, to the truth of our own value, to the truth of our inner resources, to the truth of our personal creative potential, and push us forth in a way that is developing and cultivating those in a way that's in alignment with our authentic purpose. Venus in the sign of Aquarius wants to detach from anything that is not resonating with us on that, like on a heart level, that doesn't feel like it matches our vibration. Venus in a conjunction to Saturn. This is a maturation and a refinement in our values, in our desires, in the way that we want to interact in relationships and with other people, in what we love, in the way that we are prioritizing our goals. This is a love for our goals and our plans and structures and forms as well. Venus in a conjunction to Saturn is a much more like wholesome and conservative and traditional and committed vibe. It's likely over the course of this cycle to have us sort of narrowing in on what we truly value and taking things more seriously in terms of relationships, in terms of finances, wanting something long-term, wanting something stable, wanting something committed, but with the Uranian energy that is helping us to go through this process of like personal evolution and tapping our potential and self-improvement and working towards our goals. Now, I will say it's likely to be a very detached time, okay? In terms of romantic relationships and stuff like that, like things could get a little bit weird. People could generally get a little bit weird over this next couple of weeks, and that's because of this Venus energy interacting with both the rulers of Aquarius in the sign of Aquarius. Now, I've said a million times so far over this past Venus and Aquarius cycle energy that Venus and Aquarius like detaches. It's not a super like affectionate energy. It is when there's this, meeting of the minds going on, and there's this like vibe-based connection, resonance, frequency-based connection going on. Like there's a definite appreciation for that, and that is what makes us feel close to people when we have Venus in the sign of Aquarius. But it is also a more detached and aloof energy. It's not this like overly affectionate energy necessarily. And then we bring in Venus in the conjunction to Saturn. Venus conjunct Saturn, this is notorious for like not being warm and fuzzy, okay? Saturn restricts things, Saturn limits things, it holds them back. We're talking about Venus, love and affection. This is a more cold-hearted energy. This is a, limited and restricted and withdrawn and held back in terms of the way that we are expressing our love, the way that we are expressing our affection, restrained in expressions of love of all kinds. So, don't be surprised if people, because it's like, we're rediscovering ourselves, and we're trying to get to know ourselves again, and we maybe find ourselves really questioning all the relationship dynamics, like sort of across the board in our life at this point in time, and sort of like feeling them out in terms of that resonance and like what we feel is a true match for us right now, and what we sort of like intuitively know is going to be a supportive force or a catalyst for this growth that we are being pushed towards at this point in time as well. So relationships, social situations, resources, values, a primary focus, but it's like we're trimming the hedges, you know what I mean? Like we are cleaning things up, and we are zeroing in, narrowing in on what's important to us and what we want and what we desire, and we're sort of detaching from things that are not in alignment with that. And as a result of that, this could just be like, don't take it personally if people are just not expressing their love like openly or in a very forward way, okay, at this point in time. Like, don't take it personally, don't be like offended. People, I feel like, are just honestly like very focused and trying to figure some things out, and are just, it's just not the season, okay, for big shows and expressions of love and affection. But that doesn't mean that it's not there. Again, you'll be able to probably, it's more so like a vibe thing. It's more like you'll feel the vibe, you know, without having to really express it in these big overblown ways and stuff like that, with Venus in the conjunction to Saturn, and also simultaneously the mutual reception to Uranus. Just be some strange things, some strange behavior going on in relationships. Universe is removing what is not productive, Saturn, to the growth of our potential, Taurus, Venus, at this point in time. Venus expressing this Taurus vibe in the mutual reception with Uranus, resources, value, potential, and the beauty, growth, and abundance that we cultivate and that we build with that. That is what we are supposed to be awakening to. That is the memo that universe is trying to deliver to us in a pretty big way at this point in time. You know, it's also so interesting, this Venus, Saturn, Uranus energy as it's playing out for this new moon, and the expression of this energy, and just sort of like the purpose behind it that I'm feeling like. And Venus herself actually is at 24 degrees of Aquarius, and I feel like her being at this specific symbol is also sort of talking about the dynamic of these three planets and what they're bringing to their little piece that they're adding to this new moon energy that is building and unfolding throughout the course of this cycle. 24 degrees of Aquarius, where Venus is, that Sabian symbol is a man turning his back on his passions, teaches deep wisdom from his experiences. So again, you know, this is not looking to distractions, right? Like not being attached the same way perhaps to our ego urges or to our ego impulses or to like our instinctual desires that may like pull us off course. This is an ability to stay focused. This is also sort of looking at, you know, love as more of an investment. It's about self-restraint, choosing wisdom and maturity, practical considerations over just sort of flinging ourselves into things. Like we're being more cautious, we're being more careful, especially about love and money, but simultaneously it's because we're like investing in ourselves. Like that's what this energy reminds me of. Saturn, Venus, mutual reception, Aquarius. It's like we're investing in our growth, we're investing in our potential. And what we're going to find is that we are seeking this like true like inner happiness, this intrinsic value that comes as a result of us actually moving towards our goals and feeling the sense of self-empowerment and self-improvement that we're cultivating during this period of time as well. And as a result of that, we're like not seeking this external validation the same way that we used to. And we may be really discovering where our fears of being rejected or being made fun of have maybe held us back from pursuing our true passions and, you know, developing our true authentic creative self-expression, which is actually the source of the true joy that we may have been looking for through doing it in those other means with this black moon and Leo energy that is coming in as well. So, you know, I do feel like over this period of time, we are going to be more so focused on what we need to work towards on our goals, on our path of self-improvement or self-empowerment or realigning just with our more authentic truth at this point in time. The universe is supporting this process by creating the changes necessary to remove any distractions or hindrances from our growth. You know, Uranus, like at the end of the day, it is an energy that makes the changes for us, okay, that we haven't been able to make for ourselves. And with all of this Uranus energy coming in and us just having gone through this very long Uranus retrograde period, it really is like any of the changes that are still pending that have not been able to take place or that we haven't been able to make for ourselves for whatever reason over this period of time, those are going to be initiated and really come into focus and fruition, I think, in this lightning storm that may be hitting us. But again, like a lightning storm, like this is not necessarily a bad thing. Like this is energizing, it's electrifying, it's illuminating, it puts this electricity in the air that can really like wake us up. It's like the jolt back into a more consciously like aware state as well. This is conscious awakening, very much so also associated with this. Don't be surprised if you get hit with like random flashes of insight, epiphanies that just sort of abruptly and radically shift things for you in one way or another as well. Now, I did mention, Venus in the conjunction to Saturn with the Uranus energy in Taurus, that is also shocks, surprises, unexpected things happening in finances and markets and to do with money and value and currency and resources and supply chains and food, work dynamics, partnerships, creative pursuits, things to do with housing and stuff like that as well. Uranus there, so active. There could be some big upsets, some big upheavals, some unexpected stuff. Also, Venus in the conjunction to Saturn, this could be unexpected in Aquarius, financial and resource-based restraints or limitations that impact the collective of humanity, that sort of like hit on like a global level, limitation, restriction of the Taurus themes. So there could be a little bit of just a time of limitation, things being held back, things being restricted, things being overly controlled in terms of the Taurus resources, supply chains, like that type of stuff, money as well. There could be like lows in the markets and stuff like that right now in a very unexpected way, like financial crashes and stuff like that, maybe too. I don't know, but that is just what's being indicated. Now, we have discussed Venus, Saturn. I want to get back for a minute to this black moon energy, just so that I can put a little bit more of an emphasis and primary focus on it, since to me this really is the primary aspect that is hitting alongside of this new moon, because it is an opposition that is only 3 minutes off, and it is a black moon day, black moon weekend, black moon cycle, because the black moon energy is activated by the moon, and it's the moon lining up with the sun. So we got both luminaries in exact aspect. Now I will say, Sun, Moon, stellium of planets, Chiron in Aquarius or Leo, you guys, I'm included in that, are likely to be the strongest hit by this Leo black moon energy throughout the course of this next 9 months, because obviously you hold more of these frequencies within your own energy pattern, and these are the frequencies that are being impacted and triggered by this black moon energy. So it makes sense that individuals who are strong conduits for the Leo Aquarius energy are likely to be more triggered and hit by the black moon energy as it is impacting the Leo Aquarius polarity and dynamics. So these black moon and Leo themes are likely to be significant. And again, this is basically boiling down to, where do we distort our own truth to be recognized or to get attention or to feel powerful? Where do we essentially abandon or betray ourselves? Leo is the sign of loyalty. Aquarius is also a very loyal and committed sign. And with the black moon energy, this is the shadow side. Where do we betray ourselves? Where do we betray our uniqueness? Where do we betray our authenticity to receive some type of glory or attention or recognition or power, external power or validation or acceptance or appreciation? Where do we what face do we wear for the world so that we can be accepted and appreciated? And how does this interfere with our ability to truly be happy, to truly experience that like inherent joy within us? How does this interfere with our true personal creative self-expression as well in the sign of Leo? So really what we're looking at here when we're talking about this black moon energy with the Aquarian new moon dynamic in the sign of Leo, this is how do fears of not being loved or of being made fun of or disrespected or not seen for like our own uniqueness or our own specialness hold us back from experiencing our true creative power that if we overcame those fears and if we embraced that part of ourselves and if we developed this would actually lead to the internal sense of joy that we're seeking externally with the black moon in Leo by trying to create this image of ourselves publicly to get that from others. Okay, so that's what we're dealing with. And universe at this point in time in this year, as we are exiting the 222 year, which really was about that as well, helping us to gain a better relationship to our own vibration, and as a result of that, begin to attract and magnetize vibrations, people, circumstances, situations into our experience that will mirror who we truly authentically are better, that will lead to this greater sense of fulfillment and purpose, where all this is really trying to bring us as we are transitioning into the age of Aquarius. Well, universe now really does want to bring us the people that do appreciate us and that do love us for who we really are and for what we truly have inside of us, and who do see our specialness and our uniqueness. But first we have to become who we truly are, you guys, or we can't ever have that experience. And that's what this cycle is about. It's about that process. It's about helping us to see and to gain an awareness of where we subconsciously have been betraying ourselves to receive love and validation and appreciation and an external source of self-empowerment that has actually been stripping us of our own personal self-empowerment and interfering with our ability to truly cultivate that joy within us and cultivate that personal self-expression that is the catalyst to that sense of inner joy that the black moon in Leo is seeking externally. So that's really how this is playing out. And then we bring the Uranus, Venus, Saturn stuff, this commitment to our own truth and the desire to pursue that and to find these like-minded and these like vibing resonances. And then, Jupiter in the aspect as well. Like, this is supporting us and helping us to have the faith and the trust and belief in ourselves that we need to be successful in this endeavor. Another thing that we have playing out is we also have Mercury having just stationed direct as well, forming almost an exact trine to the North Node, exact sextile to the South Node. This is still a period of gaining information and revelations and fated messages and fated meetings that help us to release and detach ourselves from past cycles, especially in regards to negative thought loops and toxic viewpoints and attitudes about ourselves and about the world around us, and begin to move towards embracing this process of growth and truly seeing our potential for what it is. The North Node also in the sign of Taurus right now, ruled by Venus, where Uranus is. It's a fated awakening, you guys, to the truth of our potential and gaining that awareness coming in this cycle as well. Huge cycle of awakening, huge cycle of gaining awareness. This storm that is coming, that is pending, this electric storm, this thunderstorm, whatever is about to be electrified for us, is to expose to us where we have been deceiving and working against ourselves through a rebirth and an awakening to our own value, to our own potential, opportunities, and purpose that come along with that. A cycle of divine intervention. We have the North Node, the destiny point right now at a Red Cross nurse in the context of these storms, you guys. So yeah, there might be storms coming through, but there's an intervention that is simultaneously playing out, a divine intervention, and it's in the form of divine inspiration, divine awakening, clarity, motivating us to start working towards our goals and moving forward in this new trajectory, detaching ourselves from that which would limit our progress towards our personal truth. We are on a trajectory right now, you guys, a collective transition into the age of Aquarius this is obviously like a 2,000 year process and it's not happening overnight, but this cycle and this energy that we have coming in right now is really playing a significant role in this process. As you know, this age is a transition from surrendering power in the age of Pisces, all about surrender, to being self-empowered through our own unique creative self-expression and our own like individual ability, and how that fits into the whole and the role that plays in serving the greater good, the sign of Aquarius. And this cycle, you guys, like I do feel like by the time that we get to the end of this Aquarius cycle, we're gonna realize like we've really gone through some type of like major transformation, like a rebirth process, honestly, and we are very focused and committed on working on ourselves, working towards our goals, working towards developing and cultivating our potential. And I feel like we're going to be seeing the future through a new lens, where we may have given up on ourselves in the past and thought sort of like, woe is me, like nothing's ever going to change for me, or, you know, I'm just always going to be in this specific type of situation, doing this specific type of thing. Like, this is energy that's coming through right now that is really making some radical changes, that is really trying to liberate us, that is removing obstructions and obstacles to organic growth. And it also has a tremendous amount to do with like the mental dimension, the mental component of things, conscious awakenings, seeing ourselves in a new light, this divine intervention, fated messages, meetings, and interactions. We're changing the game right now, you guys, and it is leading us, it's going to be leading us down a new path that is really much more focused on self-empowerment and the fulfillment of potential and growth. So that's what I have to say today, you guys. That is what I feel this new moon in Aquarius is likely specifically to bring to us over this period of time. Let's grab one more card now. I want to grab a synchronicity card, just get a piece of guidance or advice that we can kind of keep in our mind, use sort of as a mantra as we're going out, or as we are moving throughout this Aquarius cycle, throughout this period of time, which again is likely to be, I mean, expect the unexpected is sort of the mantra that we have going on throughout the course of this entire cycle, because I mean, it's an Aquarius cycle ruled by Uranus. That's always the case, but with Uranus stationing direct the very next day, like this is really, really huge, really, really significant. And actually the day that Uranus stations direct, that will also be the exact Venus-Saturn conjunction. So people are probably going to be acting weird. Relationship dynamics could definitely get a little weird. Financial stuff could get a little weird. But regardless of how weird things get, we're heading in the right direction, and it's going to end up turning around and like being for the best somehow. So we're just going to go with that. Let's see what our advice is over this next couple of weeks, or just for this period of time generally. And it says, drink of inspiration. We just got this card not long ago. As cold water to a weary soul, so is good news from a far country. Proverbs 25:25. You thirst spiritually when you lack joy, peace, inspiration, and confidence. Claim the living waters of the Almighty flow through you as wisdom, truth, beauty, and as joy, harmony, power, and love. Accept this all as your own, and you will then draw from your spiritual waters all you need to give sustenance to your soul. And we're talking about the living waters of the Almighty flowing through you is wisdom, truth, and beauty, and joy, and harmony, power, and love. We're talking about an Aquarius cycle. What is Aquarius, you guys? Aquarius is the water bearer that pours the living waters of the Almighty, the energy, the life force. Accept this as your own, and you will then draw from your spiritual waters, the vessel of Aquarius, all that you need to give sustenance to your soul. Again, with this Black Moon and Leo cycle, we are going inwards. Also, Venus conjunct Saturn. This is more of an introverted energy. We are seeking pleasure. We are seeking like personal gratification and stuff inwards, internally. We're looking for the light inside of us, and that light inside of us will then spark out and become radiant and shine externally for all to see, which will draw to us the love and the attention that we may have previously been seeking through more superficial ways. Okay, we'll put it like that. So I love this card. I love this message in association with the energy as it's coming together for our new moon in Aquarius, you guys. And that is what I have to say about the new moon in Aquarius and the energy that we've got today and carrying us through this next couple of weeks. So thank you guys for being here. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, you guys. Share it with your friends if you think they would like this type of astrology content, be interested as well. Leave me comments, you guys. I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love your feedback. I love knowing how these energies are affecting you in your lives too. Thank you guys so much again. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, an Instagram. Those are my description box below. I write a separate blog every day also that I post over in the Facebook group. If you're into reading about astrology as well as watching about astrology, that's over there. And I also post like short content and just other like shorter videos and stuff from time to time over there as well. If you're into any of that, and come back with me on Monday, you guys. We're gonna have another week of astrology to talk about. I'm on Monday, I am going to sort of recap the Uranus direct energy, because that's a big deal, and we're not doing a video specifically for Uranus direct, so we're going to talk about that. We also will have more Venus and Saturn to talk about, and Mercury is going to be making exact aspect to the nodes on Monday as well. We've been talking about this energy, but it is coming exact on Monday, so another kind of significant day in the energy for Monday, and I will be here, and you should be here too. You don't want to miss it, and I will see you then, guys. Have a beautiful new moon in Aquarius, and until next time, bye guys.